getting wet again. Like you could legit, I feel like, get blown off that cliff. My brother almost died today. I guess if you come to Iceland to see stuff, you can't let the weather stop you. It's not very good. Hey everyone, so today is the day we are getting out of Reykjavik. I know it might sound bad, but it's a really cool city and everything, but obviously we came to Iceland for the nature. We want to get out and see more of the scenic views. Granted, it seems like that's everywhere here. We stopped in Selfoss on our way down to Vik, because that's where we're stopping. And the weather, like, it is true, the weather does change every few minutes. It's really insane. I know, like, a lot of people say that, like, I say that about the States, the Brits say that about the UK. I definitely know, at least in the States, it's like every few hours, the weather, something might roll in or roll out or change. But seriously, anyway, guys, so this morning we woke up, we were leaving Reykjavik, and it was nice. The sun was kind of out, you know, it was like in the mid 40s. Only about 15 kilometers outside, we drove through kind of like a small snowstorm. I think that's when we got our first taste of true Icelandic weather. It was a little scary just because it's like, okay, like how bad is this gonna be? What's going on? But in about 10 kilometers, we drove through it, and then it came back to sunny. The roads were cleared. I don't know. It was an interesting experience. But anyway, guys, we got a couple waterfalls to check out today. Black Sand Beach, all that good stuff down in Vik. We should be getting there in a few hours. I'm super, super excited about it. It is definitely true in Iceland, though, especially, I guess, this time of year of winter time. You have to be checking the road conditions, because like tomorrow those roads could be all blocked, or they could all be in the green, which means they're good and passable. Right now most of them are in different shades of blue, meaning slippery or snow or patches of ice. Anyway, guys, it's been a great trip so far. Looking forward to today and tomorrow. So already start off to kind of an exciting day. This is Selfoss. This is one of Iceland's most popular landmarks.
In 600 meters, turn left.
You can see from all the cars how popular this area is to visit. It is located right off the one highway, so it's almost impossible to miss. Absolutely worth seeing. It is a must-see if you're in Iceland. Made it to the waterfall. We're going back behind it. This is scoured forward, I think. We're probably gonna get wet. Thankfully my raincoat is waterproof, but my pants are not for sure. That's it right there though. And there we go. Fine. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm wet. You can walk up to this platform up here that see this side of the waterfall, and then on the other side where all the people are, you can hike and actually get back behind the waterfall. This just gives you a different angle, and it wasn't quite as crowded. There it is right there. It's so cold. There was still snow here, surprisingly, and the rocks were quite slick, so you do want a good pair of shoes or boots when walking along the trail here. Make sure to bring a raincoat or a good poncho in behind the falls, because you will become absolutely drenched from all the mist. Made to the back of the waterfall. It's so cold and wet. Just mist everywhere. Selfoss is 60 meters tall. There is a trail that you can take to go see some of the other smaller waterfalls, as well as the river that runs through the park. This area is quite the surprise to me. I was not expecting it at all. This didn't show up at all when I was searching the area, and I don't know, I just fell in love with this waterfall in this area. It's kind of hard to get to and kind of sketchy, because you have to squeeze around some rocks, and if you miss it, you're going to fall about 3 foot deep in the water. But absolutely, I don't know, something about this was so majestic and awesome that I just fell in love with it. And I don't know, I actually went and got my brother and made him come back there too. You can't see this just directly off of the path. You have to get up close to it, and then you hear the running water. And I saw all the people coming back to it. I just love how it opens up to the sky here. Just absolutely the best thing. It's only about a 10-minute walk from Seljalandsfoss, so make sure you go check this out. Hey, we just got a Seljalandsfoss. It was absolutely breathtaking. It was awesome. There's actually like 4 waterfalls. The first one is like the main attraction. There's like stairs going around. You can go back behind it. But the very end, there's a waterfall like in a canyon that you can go up to. And I got drenched there. So definitely, if you come here, definitely wear waterproof pants, waterproof coat, gloves, everything. I got soaked. It was worth it. But I was super cold. I had to immediately come back to the car and change clothes. Also, you have to pay for parking. It's 7 krona. But again, obviously, it's worth it. There were hundreds of people there. And it just kept getting busier and busier. People started parking just alongside the road to go there. It was the prettiest place I've ever been. So, yeah, it was, I don't know. It's hard to put in words, and it's hard to take pictures of it. So it's definitely something you have to experience in person. But it was a great time, and I'm really glad we went and stopped. Also, it's right off the road, so not only is it hard to miss, but it's easy to get to. Around 2 hours outside of Reykjavik. So even if you're in Reykjavik, I would say it's actually worth driving the 2 hours. Obviously, if you do the Goron Circle, you're going to be even closer to it, but it's definitely worth driving to just for the sake of those waterfalls.
In 600 meters, turn left.
Oh, you can go on top of it. That's cool. There's all the tourists.
I'm guessing you're going to climb it.
Yeah. This is Skoafoss, which is considered a perfect waterfall. Again, this is right off of the one highway. This is impossible to miss. You will need to stop by and check this out, and also hike to the top as well. Just made it to the next waterfall that we're going to climb. I think it's Skoafoss. And, well, we're not going to climb it. The next waterfall we're going to see. It's a pretty big one. It's bigger than the other one. But there's a shit ton of stairs we got to climb to see on top of it. So that's going to be a good little workout. Looking forward to it. Oh, that's cool. It's like a double rainbow. Getting wet again. So clearly you can see the rainbow. I guess when the sun hits it, it's like a perfect rainbow all the time. It's really cool. I missed. Oh. This is real. Look at that. Okay, so those are still right there in the background. Get ready to climb up the stairs to see from a better view. This waterfall is probably the best location I've seen, like considering there's a town next by. They have the ocean right in front of them, the huge mountains surrounding on all sides, besides the ocean obviously, and then they also have the trifecta of the waterfall right here. So the people that live in this town have like some of the best views I've ever seen. That's awesome. Anyway, you're ready to go up all these stairs. There's probably a few hundred. Probably gonna be tired when we're done. So yeah, starting to climb on these stairs. Turned out to be a beautiful day. The sun's out. It's really nice. Oh, alright, starting to get warm. Other than the small snowstorm we drove through this morning, it's been a really nice day. Man, these stairs would be great exercise if you did a few times a day. Oh man, it's not far down. A little bit more than halfway though, probably 3/4. Oh, the view's worth it though. My goodness, can't wait to see over the waterfall. Oh, I made it to the top. Woo, can't wait for the water spray. This view is awesome though. It's definitely worth climbing up here. Skoafoss is one of the most famous waterfalls in all of Iceland. It is only about a 2-hour drive from Reykjavik. and very easy to get to. The waterfall itself is about 60 meters tall, and you can enjoy the views from below and above if you're willing to climb around 400 steps. Right up here next to the waterfall. Was not expecting, there's a really nice trail going all the way back. I don't know how far it goes back or where it goes to. I think it goes all the way to where the waterfall starts. I was not expecting there to be mist. Like, this waterfall is like 200 feet down and there's mist just flying up. It's really cool. It's so beautiful up here. I did not want to leave. That is for sure. After Skogavas, we hit the road. We came to Vik. This is where the black sand is. Black sand beaches in the ocean. Guys, we are here. It is the ocean. Those waves are super strong. Apparently, you're not supposed to get too close. It's very dangerous. The waves will suck you right out. It looks like, I don't know why anyone would get close to. I mean, just from here, like, it looks extremely dangerous to me. Yeah, like, that's not something to mess with. The sun came out though. It was a freaking amazing day. And then also, we're right next to those rocks, which I know has been in a bunch of movies. Like, this beach is super famous for a lot of movies. It's kind of surreal being here. I've seen all this stuff in photos and while prepping for the trip, and now I'm here. So this has been awesome. Been playing this for months. The sand is so cool. Guys, you gotta check this out. It's so black. It just looks like coffee almost. This is definitely worth coming to, especially even if it's just a day trip from Reykjavik. I think it's about 3.5 hours away. If you're in Reykjavik, definitely worth coming out. This is amazing. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go get some shots of the ocean and stuff for y'all. Oh man, it's peaceful out here. It's nice. Films like Rogue One, Noah, Captain America: Civil War, and Game of Thrones, among others, have been shot on this very famous beach. This is only the second time that I've seen the ocean, and it made me realize how much I enjoy it, especially with the black sand beaches. Dude. Surprisingly, Black Sand Beach is, at least right as of this time, is probably one of the least crowded places we've been in Iceland. I'm about ready to go walk out. There's like a big rock pier or something that leads down to the ocean. You can get a nicer view of those super famous rocks. This is pretty awesome, not gonna lie. It's really weird, it's like cloudy, but it's still, the blue that's shining through is really blue. I don't know, it's just so far removed from everything else in the world. There's just something so beautiful about it. Really enjoying our time here. This is what you come to Iceland for, I would say, for sure. The scenery, the tranquility, the peace. Anyway, guys, gonna go check this out. It's gonna be really hard to leave this place. It's so beautiful. The rocks are really hard to climb on though. Like, if you drop something, you're not getting out. It's gone for good. Like, if I dropped my phone, I would not be able to get it. Oh, you cannot beat that view. Like, seriously. Where else you gotta get that? There might be a few places, but not many. This is the trailhead to get to the abandoned plane in Iceland. It is a 4-mile trek, so remember that. You will probably want to pay the fare to ride the bus to go there. Going to see the abandoned plane. Really good for the first days of touring, but we're here, so probably not worth doing to see just one travel, but one of those tourist things, so I don't know. We'll see where it is. Oh, I can't tell. It's super windy though. Oh, crazy. course, the worst day of weather, I thought I would walk the full miles there and back. Let's just say I didn't make it. So today, it's Friday, we're in Vik. Today started off interesting. It was kind of, start off bad. The guest house we were in was a really nice, perfect location right next to Skoka Falls. Couldn't beat that, but for some reason, I had forgotten to book it for 2 nights. I don't know if it wasn't available since we had changed our plans, and I just didn't see it, so when I booked it, I thought I had 2 nights, but I only had 1. I was like, hey, well, I probably should check that because I don't know if I saw 2 nights on there. Come to find out, I hadn't booked 2 nights. So anyway, so we're like, okay, we'll find something else. Whatever. So after that, I was like, hey, let's go check out the plane crash. You know, it's super famous. You know, it's very touristy. It's like the thing to do. And it was raining super hard. The wind, guys, it was insane. It was a dumb thing to do. I walked maybe a mile out and I still couldn't see it. And so I just turned back because my waterproof pants and my coat and shoes and everything, I guess they're not the highest end. And I got soaked. And it's like 40 degrees with a wind chill of, I have no idea, probably 30 or something. Walked back to the car, and then I actually read the sign, and it said, the hike is 4 miles out. So that was my fault for thinking it was closer, not seeing the sign. Yeah, it made for an interesting experience, but then we were soaked, and it's cold, and we don't have a place to stay, and we're trying to drive around and figure out what to do. It's also Easter weekend here, and it is crazy busy. Everything's packed and everything's closed. So here I am calling hotel, like, hey, is there a room available? Is there a room available? I talked to the Airbnb host. Sadly, they were already booked for this weekend, so they couldn't help accommodate us there. That was my fault. I totally take responsibility there. But anyway, I finally found a hotel, so that's booked. We're about ready to check out some really cool rock formations. I think a cave. My brother just drove me out here. I know I've seen these rocks in like movies and on Instagram and stuff, so I know it's a pretty popular place to come. Lots of tourists. It still gets me how many people are still out when this weather's bad, but I guess if you come to Iceland to see stuff, you can't let the weather stop you. Anyway, so the start of a bad day is starting to look well promising. I'm able to get into some drier clothes. Hopefully I'll be able to dry out my other ones, and I'm not gonna make the dumb mistake to try to go on a long hike when the weather is shit. So kind of lost a few hours trying to deal with all this, but we still have most of the day left. So anyway, that's what we're gonna go do. This is a little cafe / gift shop and restrooms at Reynisgara. These are some of the most famous beaches in all of Iceland to go to. This is also where the sneaker waves are. You will also have to pay for parking here. There's this cave-like formation here to check out, but mostly a lot of people, as you can see, they take pictures on top of the rock columns off to the right of the cave near the beach. This is the beach at Reynisfjara. It's one of the most famous beaches in all of Iceland, and also one of the most deadly. They actually have lights that you need to pay attention to, telling you how close you can get to the water, because these waves that you can see, they come up quite a bit, and apparently if you're too close to it, the wave can actually pull you out, and there's like an underwater cliff that will actually suck you under there, and even the strongest swimmer won't be able to swim out of that. So please pay attention to the lights, and please take these serious, because there have actually been deaths here at this beach. Here are one of the glaciers. You can see them way down there. It's pretty cool. I don't know how far we can walk or not on this, but these are massive. I love the coloring though. It's like blue, black, and of course white. Pretty cool to see though. Like they don't look very big, but they are huge. It's kind of interesting. The cloudy weather kind of adds a gloominess to the day. So in some ways it's kind of cool. Kind of like it. If it was the sun out there, it'd still be prettier, but
Probably pretty big, right?
those things out there?
Yeah.
Massive.
There's something else that's massive.
It's probably the size of a house. The color's really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Like the lava mixed with it. We did not actually walk out onto the glacier, but we walked as far as we were allowed to. They actually have people stopping tourists from entering without a guide. So if you're not part of the tour guide, you can only go as far as that sign that you see. It costs about $120 to go, and I do kind of regret not paying the money for this because it would have been an awesome experience. At the same time though, just seeing it in person and being able to walk a little bit on a glacier was still a lot of fun and worth checking out if you don't want to fork over the $120. This is the parking area and the meet-up building where you would meet with your guide to go walk onto the glacier. They also have free bathrooms there. Hey, so yeah, the weather's getting bad again. It is pretty much just shit out. The rain came back. The wind is so strong. I bought some clothes for this trip, but they're not high enough quality to keep me completely dry and everything. So a few places I want to see are near the ocean. The ocean is really raging right now. Almost no one's down there, and one of the people at the store recommended not going down to the beach because if you get too close you might get sucked in. Funny story though, my brother almost died today. Somewhat joking but somewhat serious. So we're at the beach and I'm taking photos and some selfies and all that, and then I get up and I start looking around for my brother, and he's over by those pillar rocks. All I see is this huge wave come up to his waist. It's just this huge wave, and then he got completely soaked. He didn't even see it, so he wasn't running or anything to get away from it. He just got engulfed into this wave. Thankfully I didn't pull him out to the ocean or anything. I think it was mostly mist. It sounds bad, but it was hilarious to see. Thankfully nothing happened. He did get soaked though, and so we're trying to dry our clothes, and hopefully tomorrow maybe we can go see some stuff. But hopefully the weather clears up a little bit, because right now it is awful. My coat's been great, but I bought some cheaper pants on Amazon, and they work great for light rains, but like a direct rain with this wind cuts right through, and I'm even getting wet. So definitely get high quality rain gear at the very least. You just want to stay dry, because otherwise walking around when you're wet is miserable. Anyway, got to see some stuff still today. Just not as much, but at the same time is what it is. You gotta deal with the weather. So, and the weather in Iceland definitely changes very, very quickly. So it's been fun to experience for sure. This is Hotel Verna, where we stayed at for one night. It is perfectly located right next to Skogafoss waterfalls. I would highly recommend staying here. Not only was it only $80 per night, it is also perfectly situated outside of Vik. So if you're planning on staying a couple days to do activities and sightseeing around Vik, and it has easy access to everything that you would possibly want to do in this area of southern Iceland. This is the main lobby and check-in desk. Hotel Verna also offers free parking, which is very nice. So after being cold and wet all day, we finally made it to our hotel room. We're right next to the waterfall. I didn't even realize that. So our Airbnb was like 2 miles down the road, and then I forgot to book it for 2 nights, and then this hotel is even closer to the waterfall, and that's where we're staying. Sadly, it's just one night. We have to move yet again tomorrow, so that's kind of just mismanagement on my part. But anyway, we're here. You can see we got all the old clothes hanging up, trying to dry. So hopefully by tomorrow those dry. I'm getting ready to eat dinner and try some Icelandic food. This is definitely the cheaper way to do it than eating out. We got all this food like at the Bonus and the Cronin. I'm just gonna try it out and see what I think. So sitting in the hotel room, get ready to eat. This is the bread from Bonus, and the cheese, and then the meat was what Margaret gave me, so. And that lamb is amazing. Trying the muscle milk, apparently the Mountain's a big fan of this, or promotes it, so it's not very good. But hey, there's 22 grams of protein, so.
Oh, the loudest.
It tastes like vitamin C packets. That's exactly what it tastes like. Anyway, then I was wanting to try the famous Icelandic yogurt, even though it's not technically a yogurt. I guess it's a cheese. And I have to use a fork because there's no spoons, so it's like super thick. It tastes just like a yogurt. Taste the cheese quality of it, but it's really good. I wish I could take some on Angela, but I can't, so I guess I'll just be buying a bunch and trying them. Probably a bunch for breakfast, because that's an awesome breakfast. Anyway, that's what I'm having for dinner here at the hotel. Instead of eating out, just a simple meal, but yeah, way, way, way cheaper. like the whole bag from bonus was like $30, whereas like it seems like every meal is $30. So that's definitely one cheaper way to eat out in Iceland, is just buy it, make it, either make it yourself, or you can even buying the prepackaged frozen food is still cheaper than going to restaurants. So you do lose out on a little bit of the experience, but at the same time, if you're trying to save money, that is the better route to do it that I'm finding. So Hotel Varna used to be a schoolhouse, so they have all the pictures of the people that graduated there throughout the years. It also, like I said, is also perfectly situated in the south of Iceland for all the activities that you would possibly want to do. This is easy access to the glaciers, to horseback riding, to see the plane, to see Skogafoss, to see the secret lagoon which the school used to use to teach students how to swim. It's just perfectly situated for all the activities that you could possibly want to do in and around Vik of Iceland. They also have a hot tub as well as a full continental breakfast and a full kitchen that you can use. The bathrooms all shared though. That is the only drawback, is their bathrooms are not located in the rooms. Overall, I found the staff very helpful and accommodating. Here checking out the lighthouse, and thankfully it looks like they put brand new road in to get up here. It would have been a huge walk, and also thankfully they're not the best barrier, but they do thankfully have like a chain fence going around. There's some areas you could just drop straight off, and it's a long way down. The views are awesome. You can really see the ocean. This is Druhurle Lookout Point, which provides some of the best views in all of South Iceland. This looks over Reynisfjara Beach as well as Druhurle Archway. This area is also very famous for its wildlife and bird watching. I would say that this lookout provides some of the best views in all of Iceland. It is definitely worth going to, and thankfully they have a very nice, well-maintained road that makes it easy to get up here, as well as free parking. This whole area is just absolutely gorgeous and very enjoyable to walk around and take in the sights. Was not expecting this view from up here. I didn't know that this was like right down to this really famous rock or cliff or whatever this is. You can actually walk out onto it, but they might have it fenced off or something. I definitely wouldn't recommend it, especially with this high wind. It looks really skinny, and like you could legit, I feel like, get blown off that cliff and go into that water. So yeah, doing this trail, doing this park, doing this hike is definitely worth it. I would highly recommend. It's really cool because it's a little bit lower from the lighthouse, but you almost feel like you're on the level of the waves, even though you're still, I don't know, maybe 50 to 100 feet up, depending on where you are. Awesome place to come for sure. If you have a few hours, you can easily spend that time just walking the trail and taking it in. Definitely highly recommend. So apparently this is called Yoda Cave, because obviously I guess it looks like Yoda a little bit. It's also where they filmed Rogue One opening scene. Did not realize that until looked it up later, and so yeah, that's pretty cool. It's cool to see. Like as soon as we saw the scene on YouTube, we were able to like be like, oh yeah, that's exactly where they shot it. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, this is Yoda Cave because it looks like Yoda. That's so cool. This is the Jayalishfi mountain range, where also Yoda Cave is. This was a really fun area to check out, not only because of the cave and the mountain range, but also just because Pretty much as far as you can see, it's just all black sand. We had a lot of fun out here. I will say we did go off of the parking area and we drove out. We probably shouldn't have done that, but it was a lot of fun, and I think we ended up driving up to like almost 100 miles per hour. It was a lot of fun to take the Jeep off-road here. With the background and everything, we thought that this would be a perfect place for a car company to shoot a car commercial. Comment down below if you agree. Some of the shots just look so cool with the Jeep way in the distance. I climbed way up here because I thought I saw an entrance to a cave. There was not.
Were you just going back there for a little bit? Or
This is where we went horseback riding in Vik. It was a fun experience to ride the Icelandic horses. They are pretty small. I will say though that for the $100 per person, I do not know if it was worth it. This would make a perfect date though for a couple to do. These are the stables that they have the horses in. We were able to walk around before, check them out, pet them. I will say I regret not taking my phone or camera on the horseback riding. They recommend that you don't because if you drop it or if it breaks. Honestly, we never went more than a slight gallop. They take it at whatever pace you're comfortable with, so if you want to stop to take some photos or videos, you absolutely can ask for that. They also do take some group photos for you if you want, and they will email them to you. So if you do decide to leave your phone, you can get a couple pictures of you on the horses. If you are in Vik, you must try this pizza place. It was the bomb. This is some of the best pizza I have ever had. This is a duck marinade pizza. I never even thought to put duck on a pizza, but it is absolutely delicious. Also, like many European places, most places in Iceland did not have ranch, but thankfully this pizza place did, because pizza and ranch go together like PB&J. This is the Puffin Hotel that we stayed at Vik. It is a pretty nice hotel. They do offer a English style full continental breakfast. It was very clean and warm. I will say though, I think it was the most expensive hotel we stayed at in our entire trip. It cost about $170 per night. For that reason, I don't know if I would rate this one higher than the old schoolhouse that is next to Skogafoss. But if you want to be in the town of Vik, then this is a very good option. This hotel is only about a 5-minute walk to the black sand beaches, as well as the horseback riding and the pizza restaurant, as well as the one and only grocery store of Vik. Hey guys, so right now we're in Vik. We're gonna be leaving in the morning. We spent about 3 days here, but about 2.5 or 2.25 really, because the weather was so bad. Vik is a charming, amazing little town. You can see the church, the super famous church in the background here. So we have like a perfect view for this. The Puffin Hotel is really cool. It's been great so far. We only had one night here because we were only planning to stay 1 day here in Vik, and I'm really glad that we decided to leave Reykjavik early and have more time down here because there is so much to see. I think we saw most of the main attractions here. I will say there's still more that we didn't do though. You can do ATVs, go see the plane, you can go walk the glaciers, you can drive up and do the ice caves that are near Hof. So yeah, there is a lot to do. I would say definitely you could probably have 3 full days in Vik pretty easily. So we still weren't able to quite fill everything in just with time, and then also apparently it's like Easter time around here, so a lot of stuff was closed for us. And then also we went and saw, and I'm gonna be butchering these names, Dry Hole, the famous rock formation with the hole in it. It was actually, we went up on top of a mountain, there was a lighthouse there. It's a part of a park, nature reserve, and it was probably some of the best scenes of Vik, I would say. Definitely go spend more time there. I can't forget, we did drive by this a lot, but Skogafoss was one of my favorite waterfalls so far. Just with the rainbow, it was amazing. We actually had our Airbnb and our hotel were very close there, and then a lot of the stuff, we kept going back and forth down that main stretch of highway. So we drove by it a lot. It was almost always packed though. We went to Sojava Log. It's the abandoned pool up in the mountains, or lagoon, or I don't know what's technically classified. It looks just like a pool. We actually drove out there to check out just the surrounding areas of the mountains. And I even asked someone who had walked back there, like, hey, is there something like to see here that we don't want to forget? And he just kind of looked at me and like looked at the mountains and said, this is what there is to see. Anyway, so I looked it up, found out about it, drove out there. Almost didn't even walk back in the mountains again because you can't see anything from the mountains. So anyway, I hiked back there quick between 3/4 to a mile from the parking area all the way back there. But it was a unique surprise and it was very pretty. Vik as a town, I would say, is very charming and it does have that very quaint feel. It's also very modernized. Obviously with probably the influx of tourism, you can see lots of new hotels, fancy hotels, restaurants are popping up. We saw lots of bed and breakfasts, Airbnbs, a few hostels even. No, they're not cheap, but for a population of like 600, I feel like the tourism has actually brought a lot to this town. I'm not for sure, as I don't live here, but if I lived in such a small town, it's nice to have all these amenities coming in. There's a Cronin's grocery store, there's a pretty big Iceland wear store to buy lots of your winter clothes and, you know, like tourism, trinkets and souvenirs and all that. But there's also a very nice bistro, cafe, and restaurant all in this big mall area. And of the town itself, there's not a ton to do in the scheme of things, but obviously with all the surrounding scenic things to go see and also all the excursions potentially to go do, you can definitely fill up 3 days easily. But that's kind of what we did in Vik. We went and saw a lot. Our only excursion was the horseback riding, again with not having originally planned to be here more than 1 day, as well as Easter time. We weren't able to fit in some of the bigger excursions. Anyway, that is our southern tour of Iceland. We're going to start heading east and northeast. Our next big stop is Akureyri up in the north, which is, I've heard, is like the capital city of the north for Iceland. So we're very excited to go up there and check it out. There's a few waterfalls and glaciers and stuff to see along the way too. So anyway guys, that's it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.